looking at have got other commitments in life. So it's good for us to take a step back and understand the people that you are leading, understand the people that you are having as part either of your church or of the company or of the community that you belong to. Say for us here, in the company that we work with, if somebody comes online and says on the Viber, I'm coming in late, I'm taking my, my children to the hospital, or my wife is not well, can I work from home? And those are the things that they go through. So if we are sitting on this side as executives or as management of this of company that we work with, and we are looking at the work that's supposed to be producing, and we're so adamant in the fact that you must produce or you must give this work, without considering that this same person, this same employee has got a family. And that family, it's their emotional ties, they are connected, soul ties. So if we are ruling this way, if it works for the company, we want to produce, for them to produce results. We want them to do this. But if you take a step back, then we will say, the same person that we are trying to make that person to produce this work is the same person now affected because there's a problem at home. They are needed at home. So because of that, like for the company that I work for, what I try and do as much, like if it's a school day, a school start day, if that term is starting away from the, holidays, I will put up a notice to say, okay, if you have other things you're still running around for your children, or you need to take them to school, if they're new, I will give them time off. And so just make sure that whatever's urgent on your table, you clear. If you can do some things that you can do remotely, please clear that. Because I try and lead or manage a company knowing that this staff, it's not only what I want to drive them to bring the results that the company want, but to also understand that they are part of families. They also have responsibility in their families, and help them and work with them to be able to manage that balance of not taking them away from their home, having them mostly as part of that home, but they can also produce good results or achieve what needs to be achieved in the workplace. So take us back to what we are trying to talk about today. It's the little keynotes that you can take with you from the current situation in your family right now. What works, what doesn't work. Get a book, write it down. Don't give up on your family. If you say, oh, I'm tired of telling them for them to, at least have a date together. I'm really tired of trying to get a dinner for all of us to sit down together. Don't be frustrated in the process. Write it down and work with it, work through it, and see that you achieve it. And don't give up in the sense like it doesn't work for this week, like you give it up for next week. No. If you're working towards at least 2 sit-down meals or dinner in the whole week, try and manage one. Try and achieve one. Don't overthink it. And if you're a believer like us who trust God, pray about it. Because that sovereignty or that divine help, you'll be amazed of what He can do. So if you cannot handle it within yourself and your strength and your knowledge and everything that you think that you can handle, then if you're a believer, trust God and commit it to God. I forgot to help you. Because God creates you as we believe, and also He creates all the members of your family. What you're struggling with to achieve and you're stalking and they're not listening, God creates all of them. So when you trust God, He's going to do what only He can do to make them listen and to make your family or your house a home. So let us, start working towards changing the little things. If you haven't had a meal together or sit down together like what we said today, try for one day in a week. Or if you see that Sunday lunch work for you, then Sunday lunch it is. For us, if there is no other church service in the afternoon, Sunday lunch work for us. So we all sit on Sunday. It can be having bread and tea. It can be do your own sandwich, butter your own bread, put in a peanut butter or tuna or cheese or egg. It's do it yourself. And it doesn't really matter what we are having for lunch. It's just that fun, that togetherness, the connection, the engagement that meal brings. It's not the quality or the quantity. or the range of meals being eaten, it's the time that is spent just doing that. But as and when we have another service in the afternoon, then we resort to have bread and tea. So we'll go in the morning, come back, buy loaves of bread or sliced bread, and it's do it yourself, like the last time we did it, and it's going to be tomorrow again because we have a service in the morning and a service in the afternoon. For the last time, like what he shared, just a long loaf, slap the flour of butter, put in the peanut butter, then it works. Some you put in the peanut butter, put it with banana, or it's beautiful. Or you mix the jam and the Vegemite, that's even better. And it works. So we munch what we need to munch. We have a two hours break in between, 3 hours break to the most. And then they are given the space to rest and then get ready for church again in the afternoon. And that doesn't happen every Sunday. It happens at least once a Sunday a month. A month.
And it's just managing your time, managing your time well, because your priority,
Yeah.
what is your priority? Because once you have your priority, you'll manage well. When you don't have a priority, then you'll mix everything around and get confused, and the thing that is important is become less important, and the less important becomes important because the priority.
Yeah.
When you have your priority right, for those of us that we go to church, God, your family, those two must go together. And you see, because of that priority and the managing of time, you'll revolve around that. Your faith and your family. And when your family is good, your faith is good. Your faith is good, your family. And other things that, as we said, there are some occasions you just call, some occasions you pop in, some occasions just send money, some occasions you're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be there. And it's prioritizing.
Yeah.
And I believe when we manage well, a lot of things can be done. Kaya kahit ko na yalo ni garba na itabi, kada ni garba kede. Ya, doon na ka daw takos yung na buti sa isa takos yung na buti sa makakita sa sini. Sa liuna ka kita sa mista ka. Kaya kahit na mama ko siya kada rin na kamongon, na kabaya. Yeah. Babi nakataka na matakan ni ko na mula mandan nito na, kung dami ito ni ko na matakan nila that gap. Say from 6 to 7:30. Kung nag-gap nga yan, sa doon korokor. Na levo ni kaya na kabakit. Undo na, anything to do? Siya ko liba ko lang. Kaya ko na inyan mo libi mo ke, liba ko sostan. And man, it's maybe it's a gift. Balitangan nindo mama ko to ka. Kuto na tiko from 6. From 6. Sometimes 5:30. Yeah. Kung na time nga yan, na kaya na kakina, na clear tagin go. So, it's a priority and how you do
That's what I
it.
was sharing with my family last night when we were having the devotion. Not last night, the night before last night. And I was sharing with them, and I was telling them, because I have my grandchildren and 2 of their friends, they stay with us as well, and my children. And one thing that I was sharing with them, on Friday night, on Thursday night, I was telling them, look, I may be this age. For me, like before I wake up at about 3 or 3:30, now I'm up about 5. As soon as he goes, or sometimes he's still sleeping, 5 or 5:30, I'm up. Because I know that the first batch of my grandchildren is going to school, and they need to be out of the house by 6:45 to 7 o'clock. And to make their lunch, to prepare the breakfast for the whole home, and to get myself out. And I was sharing with them that I usually have a place, my friend, I go there for massage, or they do, little things, personal things. And their opening time is 9 o'clock. So what I used to ask them, okay, what time do you people really open? 9 o'clock when business start. But how early are you people in the, And they said, we're here about 6:30. And so I can come in early if I need to come. Because if I go to the office, I go to work, it's hard to leave that office to come. And if I do, I'm always late. I never meet my appointment. So what's the possibility? And they said, you can come. Come by 7 or come by 7:30. Before we open, we can do that. Or I have a friend that does massage, Tima. And she was working here. Now she's down They're in Harrison building. And because I know that during the day I'm taken up with work, and most of the time I cannot leave my desk. And I will be asking her, okay, what time do you start? And said, we open for business at 9, but I'm here from 8 o'clock. And I will ask, okay, if you're there by 8 o'clock, I can come and see you at 8 o'clock. She said, yeah, you can come. So before their business open, I'm there in the morning. So I organize my life, like I wake up early in the morning, 5:30. If I wake up at 4:30, either I will wake him up, or if I'm just going to bed, and I was sharing with them, sometimes I will be going to bed about 2:30 will be my last message on my email, or still working in the lounge area, because I struggle with that. I struggle to cancel my brain to stop thinking so I can sleep. That is the issue that I face. And sometimes I need to watch the news or flick through the channels to try and get my work mode mind to relax mode. And in the process, I chew into the hours of my rest. And most of the time, I sleep at about midnight, 1 o'clock, or 2 o'clock in the morning, or even 2:30. On Friday morning, I went to sleep at 2:30, was my last email sent. And if I go to sleep, or when I go to sleep at 2:30, a sure shot, by 5 or 5:30, I'm up. I'm standing up. To the most, maybe 6 o'clock will be the latest. My body just stand up. I just wake up. I can't sleep longer than that. The time that I've trained my body to stand up, regardless of the hours that I sleep, it automatically just get me to stand up. And I was sharing with them. And then for me, I can say, okay, I'm lazy today. I don't want to. Or I slept late. I want to sleep in. Or I'll call the office today. I won't come to work. I can easily do that. And I was sharing with them, I can't, because it's in my system. I feel responsible, accountable. There are things in life that you just need to take it on. And I say, when you people come to work at about 8:30, or when you go into the office, for me, I've already done 2 or 3 things of my life before walking into that office. So by the time I come to the office, I've done a fair bit, a lot of things within those hours, or within those time only from waking up to come to the office. And during the day in the office, it's not only you're just doing work for the office, you're doing other things on top of the office, organizing your children, your grandchildren. And in the evening, I will push myself, no matter how busy, clustered my desk is, I will tell myself I need to get out of this office to be home at 7 o'clock because of the devotion. If I am running late, I will call home and I will tell them, can you hold off a bit? You people wait for me. When I get home, then we have the devotion. Because how important that devotion, sit-down time for me. And so go back to what I have shared from the beginning. It's easy to say good parenting. It's easy to say that we can train parents. It's easy maybe to say, oh, we just need to change these things. But when you practically go and try to do it, you cannot give or do something that is not part of your life, that you haven't been exposed to, or push your life to be able to trial it out. So there is a learning that we would like to bring to the table on the Family Table Talk this morning. Like what I mentioned earlier, we don't expect you to do it overnight. It's a process, and a process of trial and error. What works, what doesn't work. What works for my family may not work for your family. What works for your family may not work for other families as well. But there are some little things that can be common that works for every family. And one thing the common thing that we can talk about today is just sitting down together. It's just telling them, don't bring your gadget to the dinner table. Don't bring your gadget when we're having meals. So when you're having your meals, you're looking at each other's face. You become a person being part of the conversation, even if you don't contribute into anything that has been discussed. But your attention is there. You are hearing. You are listening. You can be part of that sit down. But if all these things are involved, then they become physically there, but they're emotionally connected elsewhere. So one thing that can be our takeaway items for today's session would be the gadgets on the meal time, or during meal time, or on the table, and also finding the time to be together. It can be devotion for those of you who go to church, and it can be meal time for those of you who do not believe in God, or you don't have devotion at home, or you don't go to church at all. So just try and have that time together. Think of something that can bring your family together. and make them stay at home for that to at least try for 1 day. And after 1 day, if you have achieved it, then 2 days. For those of you that have managed to achieve it for 5 days, oh man, that's awesome. Congratulations, you've done it. For those of us that are struggling to make it happen, don't rush to the 5 days. Take 1 day, one step at a time. Do the practical things that you can do. Because what we are trying to do, we are trying to create this passion, this home, to be a home that holds your children back from going out, that they love to rush back and come to home to, because you create this little heaven within their reach, within their home. You create their space. If you have enough space, you create a bedroom for them. And they have their space. You respect their space. And also, if they are studying, and if you don't have much space, and then you try and create little tables or something that they can sit and do their work well. So it cannot happen overnight. It's a process. Whatever that you are able and also you can do, start now. And start doing them now, because it's going to help your family to make it happen. Because as we go further, then we will talk about, we'll try and bring that family clip that we usually do. And I must thank Tiare and the husband. They do captures of what we do, and they make it into a little video clips on the family night. We call it the family night for the church that we belong to, and it's on Tuesday. And that family night, the little clips that we've done, when we continue to talk about the families, we'll try and play it. Just to give you ideas, it's not expensive, not too costly. It's not the amount of money you spend. It's just the time that you invest to make your family work. And we have about 10 minutes left that I want to wrap up with what I want to share this morning through that family night. The organizer for us in our house, we have Tiare, my daughter, my youngest daughter, and she paired up with the boys at home, the senior boys at home. So she was running the show for our family night, organizing us, planning, telling us what to do as we come to that night, and then she will run the night for us with Junior first. And now she's taken on board Othaniel. So she changed the partners so they can be exposed on how to organize same things that they're doing. So it becomes a learning experience, it becomes an exposure, and at the same time, it becomes the whole family involvement. And one of the nights that really struck me, we didn't have much activities. We used to have baking and all this, scavenger hunt. But that particular night, because we were talking about the next one, we were talking about the movie night, and for the following week. And we just all sat, talk about ourselves, and she had a few questions for us to answer and go around to everybody, right down to my 4-year-old granddaughter. And a few things she wants us to talk about. One is our color, 5 things. What is our favorite color? And what are our hobbies, what we love doing? And also, how do we see ourselves in the next 5 years? And what other things that we talk about that day? So we have the hobby, we have the color, we have the 5 years plan. And also we talk about the things that we don't like. Yeah. There were 5 things that we spoke of on that night.
Your character
that
irritates
others. Oh, yeah. And you identify, some elements of your life, the characteristics that you have that irritates others. And, and also the traits or the character you have that pleases others. That sort of like you, a plus to you, that they like you. So the trait that people like about you and the things you do that you've been told or they tell you. They tell you your strength, and they tell you it's your weakness, like you're irritable. Those 2 things, and your hobby, your color, and also how do you see yourself in the next 5 years. And it's amazing. For me, that was a learning process. Because I teach my grandchildren and the church on how to write your list, and that list becomes theirs. I don't know what's in their list, but it becomes their private list and becomes their own list, praying about their list to their God. But that night, sitting there that night, and I hear what they share, it becomes, for me, it was a revelation. For me, it's like, why, how did I not see that? I begin to see them and hear them on their desire for the next 5 years. And right down to my 4-year-old. And I was thinking, okay, will she participate or not? But she's quite a chatterbox. And I was waiting whether she was going to take part, because most of the time, like last time, Kayla, would you like to say something about Uncle Ty? No, it's okay. No, I don't want to. No, it's okay. There are moments like that she does. So when we were doing this round of saying these 5 things, I was looking at her thinking, okay, she might bail out. But surprisingly, when it came to her, she spoke without even her mother telling her what to say. And you talk about a 4-year-old that felt that whatever the adults are talking about, right from, her grandfather, who is the oldest in the house, to the grandmother, to her parents, that she felt so confident to share about the 5 things that she feels, part of. And I was really surprised when she spoke, and she said, oh, my favorite color, and she changes colors. I like bright colors, or I like red, or I like blue. And then she spoke about her hobby, playing with her toys and, playing dollhouse. And then what amazes me was when she spoke about her character, her trait. And so, they were trying to simplify the things to her. What are the things you do that you irritate people, and they say that you're not a good person? Why you do that? And then she looked at her mother and she said, I mess up the house, because when she plays with her toys, she scatters her toys around. It's when I mess the house. That's my bad character, when I mess the house. Okay, so what can you say to a good trait or good character when they come and say, oh, thank you, when I clean up the house, when I clean up my mess? And how do you see yourself for the next 5 years? What do you want to be? And you're talking about a 4-year-old. And then she spoke without even a flinch, without even looking at her parents. And she just spoke up and she said, oh, I'd love to be strong. I wouldn't be attending school. I will be attending school. And I'm going to be a strong girl, and I will be attending school. And she just go on and on. And you talk about a 4-year-old. And so in our family night, the age doesn't become, a factor at all. A 4-year-old can talk about their dreams just as the old ones like us going to our grave, and the middle ones that are still so active and full of dreams. So that night for me, listening to Katie, and also listening to I was listening to the youngest and listening to my eldest grandson, and listening to all their dreams. And I'm listening to all their 5-year plan, and I'm trying to think, how can I help them? How can I help them with their 5-year plan? So it didn't just end on that night for me. It was a takeaway item. I took the things that I can take with me as a grandmother. I took the things that they said it from their heart that they want to be for the next 5 years. And I wrote down in my diary their names and their dreams for the next 5 years. And it becomes my prayer item. So because I am a believer and I believe in God. So when I pray in my quiet time, I commit it to God and I say, Lord, I know they have it in their own list, but I'm committing their prayer list to you. This is what they want to be for 5 years. And whatever they desire, you're going to help them. Or help me to guide them. Give me the ability and the strength to nurture or to help them to reach their dream. So I didn't take it very lightly. I turned to one of them, one of my grandchildren spoke up and say, oh, I want to do. Because like for me at home, they all love their rugby. Their grandfather loved rugby. Everybody, I think every Itoke loved rugby. I'm not a rugby person, but I just tag along because my family loves rugby. I watch rugby because they watch rugby. And I become to learn and love rugby because my grandchildren plays rugby. And I've always said this to my grandchildren. If you know that playing rugby is going to bring food on the table for you, and you look at it as a profession that's going to look after your life, then by all means, go for it. That's going to look after you. But if you know that you're just playing for the sake of playing, for fun, touch rugby for fun, spending your idle time just to and have some fun with your friends, then you need academically to concentrate and try and achieve something so you can look after your life. So that's always the conversation we've had at home. But I was very surprised in the midst of this 5-year plan that one of them spoke up and said, I would like, to play rugby. And that got me thinking. So I look for avenues and ways to get the correct and the professional advice to get it done. And one of them say, for the 5-year plan, I'm not really sure. For me, either works, whether I will be working and earning money, or I am in a university. So I'm looking at this grandchild of mine with their desire, and I'm writing it down. So we had a long drive from the Western Division after church last Sunday. And during that drive, because we were coming together, he was sitting right at the front with me, and I was having that conversation. I said, I heard what you said, and I know we've had this discussion before. These are your options if you want to go and work straight away, or you still do your studies on the side. And these are your options if you want to go and study. And we were having that conversation. So their 5 years dream and their 5 years plan, it doesn't become the way I want their future to be, or I'm pushing them and wanting their future to be, but it becomes their dream future that I can help and discuss with them to bring to fruition in their life. And it will be something that they desire, something that they want, and something that they will be passionate about. So that helped me moving forward. And that is why I want to bring it to this table and end with it again today, because we will continue this episode a few Saturdays just to help create that house and redesign it to be a home and fill it up with love, fill it up with passion, fill it up with worth, and fill it up with so much value that each family member, they feel so valuable and so matter in that home that even their ideas, even their dreams, you'll take the time to discuss with them. So have that discussion, have that open conversation like what my husband has mentioned this morning, that we can have that ongoing. It doesn't end in a day because the conversation continue. Because you have identified something that is common, that you would like to have to happen for your children or your grandchildren, and also they would like that to happen in their lives. So it becomes a topic that is common that you can talk about to better or to make it happen. Well, on that note, I will give this time in to say thank you for joining us today. Yeah. And if you have nothing doing for tomorrow, for those of you who go to church, please join us at the Four Shores. We will be there from 9 o'clock in the morning and also 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We are trying to use the 9 o'clock in the morning service for healing service. So whatever sickness you may have, it's not only the sickness in ailments. It can be problems at home, family. It can be marriage. It can be disobedient children. Whatever the issue you may be facing. If you're free, join us.
Healings.
But if you're living far from Suva, you can join us on the Facebook page on My TV, or switch on the screen on My TV. But My TV only covers 1 hour of that service. But you can join us on our Facebook page if you want to be part of the holistic thing that we're going to be happening down at the Four Shores. But if you are within Suva area and you want to physically come, please do come. Come and be encouraged and be empowered that you can go back home and you say, I'm ready to face the week, or I have faith that I can be healed. Yes. And I have faith that I have more years with my family, because absolutely nothing is impossible with God. So we invite you for tomorrow if you have nothing to do. But if you're joining in from outside Fiji, also we invite you to join our Facebook page, as well as for the My TV as well. And also other broadcasters, as in Fiji Broadcasting, and also for the Fiji TV, they also have their programs going during the day on Sunday that can encourage you, that can help you, empower you in the spiritual way. And for us, for My TV, I'm very confident to share with us. 5 to 6, we have our daily campus. 6 to 7, we have Reverend Elias Koroi gracing us with the Methodist Church in Fiji. And also 7 to 8, we will be tuning in to the Assemblies of God in Calvary Temple that have been coming out with very good, beautiful sermons that can encourage you for the week. And to Reverend The Cow and Randy Talangasi and the church in Calvary Temple. And also from, I believe, from 7 to 8, we have a new program that is going there. And we have the 8 to 9 on the power in the word, as we will have Ngasilevu coming in to be part of it. So we have 5 to 6 on the daily campus, 6 to 7 on Elias Koroi, 7 to 8 is the Calvary Temple, and then 8 to 9 is the power in the word, and 9 to 10 there is a new church coming in as well, and tune in, enjoy in, and watch them. And we have in half an hour on the TBN, And also then the 10:30 is when you join us on the God of our Nation. And it doesn't end there. We have the Triple C.
At midday.
Yeah, and then we have the Susamacha, I believe it's still going on the Hindustani.
And again to Calvary
yeah,
Chapel.
and then we have all other church program going. That is for my TV. But for the other two television broadcasts, you can look them up. On the daily newspaper, they will have the TV guide I will give you, or even check into their website for you to check out what is happening out there. And even the radio stations for FBC, they're also doing the same. What I'm trying to tell us today, there is no excuse in being filled up, empowered, and encouraged with what word you can hear somebody sharing with you. So enjoy your weekend, and please stay home. In the evening, have some quality family time, and have a happy weekend.
I also take this time to all the honorable ministers that you shared. I believe 3 or 4 already. That normally you watch this program because your wife love the way that we coming across on family matters. So I take this time to say, Binakabakalim, and a time will also come that we want to say a big Binakabakalim for involving yourself to the Value Taki program 1 to 2 on Mondays and replay on Wednesday. So again, tomorrow, don't miss tomorrow, because allow the divine intervention to what we are facing today. Come down to the first one. A family is an epitome of God's love towards mankind. God designed us to live in families, and the Bible reveals that family relationships are important to Him.
But as a believer, do you feel that you're still struggling?
Maybe you're still struggling with your relationship,
Struggling with your finances?
struggling at work,
With your social life?
or with your spiritual life.
We invite you to join us
On our Family Table Talk every Saturday,
at 7:30 a.m. on my TV.
or catch us on our Facebook page.